Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's hot. Hey y'all, what city y'all coming in from? Can y'all hear me good? I know I usually don't go live on, Wednesday nights, but I had to celebrate with my YouTube fam. I had to celebrate with YouTube. I had to celebrate with my YouTube family on the 6-year anniversary of Affirmations for the Grownass, one, my first album I released back in 2019. Okay, Birmingham, Phoenix, Cali, Florida. What up, though? Chiming in from Atlanta. Um, yeah, I had to celebrate with y'all. I swear, I wish I could just have a YouTube only experience with y'all, because y'all have been so patient with me over the years. Y'all have given me so much grace, and you all have been so loyal, so supportive of me and the music, the message. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that. And you know what, y'all, do y'all know that I have a community, like a community space called Affirmation? Y'all can become members. It's like $9.99 a month, and then the other one is like $24.99 a month. And literally, we go on field trips every quarter because what's healing without having fun, period. And we do affirmation meditations every month, journal prompts, all that jazz, and more. But yeah, that's tea on that. But I just want to make sure I always presence that I have a community space for us, because the people who listen to the music, they get closer to the message by joining the membership, and then we link up, in person. The next field trip is in April here in Atlanta. We're gonna have a day field trip here in Atlanta, Georgia. So we're gonna have brunch. We're gonna go do some things together. Last year the last field trip we went on was we went to go see Abraham Hicks together. What state am I in? I'm in Georgia. Georgia. I'm in Georgia, Atlanta City to be exact. I'm in Albany, Georgia, only a few hours away, period. Pull up. I mean, you got to join Affirmation, but it's worth it going on field trips. Because, everybody, a lot of people do ceremonies and they do retreats, and I love that. I think it's necessary. But I think people right now really need to have fun, like genuine connecting fun. You know? You say, I swear it's a song for everything, right? But welcome to my YouTube channel. Those of you who are new to this space, my name is Toni Jones. I'm an affirmation musician, life coach turned affirmation musician as of 2020, but because I didn't know I was going to do this full time until 2020. And yeah, I help people talk to themselves better. So I'm always spearheading, talking about bettering and healing and improving the way you talk to yourself. Because we be the worst, the absolute worst, when it comes to how we talk to ourselves in our minds as we go through the ebbs and flows of being a human being. But tonight, I want to be very intentional with this conversation. I'm going to give you guys some backstory on how I came about doing affirmation music. Some of you all know a little bit about this story, but I left out some juicy details. And, from what was happening when I released that album, um, how I funded that album, and what happened after I released that album. So we about to go back down memory lane. When I be telling this story, I be feeling like I be lying because I'm like, I went through that. How did I go through all of that? It's mind-boggling to me. I'm a phenomenon to myself. So 2019, let's go back to 2014 when I started my wellness coaching business. I went to school for psychology. And when I went to school for psychology, the reason why I went to school for psychology was because I was substitute teaching. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what my purpose was. I had just got back from living in, where was I? Baltimore for 8 months. But prior then, I had lived in New York for almost 2 years. And my dream was to be a fashion stylist. Like, I wanted to be in fashion. That was, what I wanted to do. And I moved to New York to see what was in New York for me, And I ended up, I don't even want to go into that story. Fast forward from Baltimore, I moved back home. And I said, well, shit, let me just figure out who I am. So I started substitute teaching, and I looked at how many credits I had left to graduate because I left school years prior. And I was on a computer in this, and you know what's so crazy? My long-term substituting position was music. The universe really plays games with us, man. It's so wild to just witness the backdrop of what was happening as you're on your journey, on your path. Everything is included. Everything is a part of the ingredients to your recipe, you know? And so I was Googling, what did I Google? I Googled manipulation. And the reason why I Googled manipulation, because the guy that had my emotional attention at the time, that I was entangled with, I just wanted to see those traits, because I'm like, am I being manipulated? And so when I looked up manipulation, it led me to narcissism and manipulation and things like that. That was my first encounter actually exploring that human behavior. And so when I looked at the traits of someone who manipulates, I was like, oh my God, he's crossing every last trait. And then when I looked at the traits of someone that a manipulator manipulates, it was like basically describing me. And so I was like, hell to the no. And so that's what motivated and inspired me to go to psychology, because I was like, you know what? I feel very green. I feel very naive and gullible. And so I was like, I have to figure out, how do I shift my own human behavior that makes me vulnerable to predators that want to take advantage of the ways that I'm vulnerable. And so once I did that rabbit hole on manipulation back in, I don't even know what year it was, I went back to school. And when I went back to school and I started studying about psychology and neuroscience, I was like, oh my gosh, like my mind was just, I just opened my eyes, because before psychology, all I had was the Bible. My reference for personal development was the Bible. And so before then, in Christian doctrine based information. And so, hi, Kara. Hey, everybody. So for me, that coming across psychology and learning about how humans learn, thank you so much, really shifted my understanding. It's like, okay, I started learning about neuroplasticity, learning that even though your mind can be conditioned a certain way because of your environment, because of DNA, and because of, how your child will, how, what happened when you were brought up in your childhood, your household, all of these factors that play a part in your mental conditioning, your social conditioning, how you perceive yourself and perceive others. I was just like, I became obsessed. I was absolutely obsessed with human behavior because it gave me hope that I could change. It gave me hope that I could grow. So when I went back to school and got my degree in psychology, I knew that I wanted to start a business that dealt with psychology. I didn't know what. So when I came across wellness and there was a pain point I really wanted to serve and solve, which was women burning out. I was like, women don't practice. I wasn't seeing anybody in the culture or in my community, my immediate community, which was women entrepreneurship and youth advocacy, women's empowerment and whatnot. I didn't see anybody like spearheading messages around wellness, well-being, mental health, and so on. And so I was like, I'm going to create a wellness business where I help women embrace their multifaceted self through well-being and wellness and heal from workaholism. So I started a company called wifecomma.com. It started off as a blog to get messages going, make it cute, make it, I branded it really cute, had photo shoots with the woo, had a website. It was really cute. And it was a pretty penny too. So I did all this investment into this brand, into this company to promote this message of wellness and well-being during a time where that was countercultural, because for years at that time, it was all about being a bad bitch. It was all about getting to the bag. It was all about burning yourself out for the grind. This is what you have to sacrifice. The energy was very team no sleep, okay? Mental health was like, what? That's what you sacrifice to, win and be successful. And I was just like, yeah, I don't know about that. You know what I'm saying? So I started wifecomma.com, and wife stood for womanhood and full empowerment, and comma stand for and more. And the reason why I did wifecomma.com was because I had spent so many years trying to make a marriage work, trying to make relationships with men work. And I said, you know what if me, because all I knew was how to be a wife, okay? And I kept trying to wife these men. I was like, what will happen if I wife my life? Everything that I'm doing for these men, what will happen if I do it for myself? And so that's where wife comma came about. And comma just means and more, because being a wife, being a woman, it's a personal journey more than a relationship status. And so that evolved to wife your life. And so I was like, wife comma is so artsy, it's so complex. Some people don't understand it. So I came up with the tagline, wife your life. I ended up getting rid of the name wife comma, and it turned into wife your life. And then as I'm getting clients, I'm working a full-time job as a dream director. Dream job, could talk about it for the next 3 hours. When I tell you it was my dream job, that is exactly what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. Once I came across that job, and I manifested this job because it was, first of all, we were paid really well. The insurance was really good. We were accommodated in so many ways. It was so whimsical. It was so purposeful. It was very intentional and powerful. It was like one of the best historical times of my life, because I was working with young people in Detroit public high schools, because I'm from Michigan, and it no longer exists anymore. But because once I got fired, it was over in less than a year. Clock it. Okay, anyways. So I ended up, yeah, it was a dream job. Loved it. And I ended up getting that position. I manifested that position, fell in love with that role that I was playing. I was literally helping staff and students reimagine the school culture through projects, through coaching, and through experiences. I was just like, yeah, you got me on that one. and I just was able to do revolutionary work. Just imagine your passion, your purpose, something you love to do, and someone funds it. They fund your life so you can continue to show up in that way. And then part-time, I had my coaching business where I was helping women heal, helping women heal from workaholism. So I was speaking, I was being a part of women's empowerment panels and whatnot, and I was representing wellness and well-being at a time where no one was, at least in my community, in my immediate social um, space, no one was really promoting that for real and branding that and advocating for that. But, that's what I was doing because I was like, this is important, and I felt like an outcast too. I kept trying to fit in. If I'm to be honest with you, looking back at it, I was trying to fit into the mold of what a successful woman is. Okay. She works hard. She has her own. She got her own money, her own car. She's a hustler. I did try to fit in. I was trying to make it my own, but ultimately that identity failed me tremendously. Learned a lot though. So let's fast forward to 2018. I'm a dream director. I've been a dream director for, let's say, 5-6 years now. Yeah. Yeah, 5-6 years. Ignore the numbers because I'm 85 years old, so I'm just joking. No, but so by that time, 2018, I remember praying in the summer of 2018, and I said, God, I remember and I love telling this story because I immediately go to the memory in my mind and I see it. I wish I can take it out my head and just show it to y'all on a screen because it's so vivid. I was in my bedroom and I was on my bed and I was just like, God, I'm about to be worn out by serving these women who are resistant to doing the work for their well-being and wellness. They do the work for the bag, they do the work for the look, the brand, but they're not doing the inner work. And I felt challenged because I felt like I was compromising myself by doing so much for the community of women entrepreneurs, women in business, high ambitious women. And I was burning myself out by doing all the emotional labor for my clients. And then I ended up becoming a dumping ground for women who just needed a relief for all the things that they were actually doing in their lives. So I asked God, I said, God, you got to give me an idea. Got to give me an idea to help my business, help women practice wellness on the go. Like it has to be something that is applicable because the coaching, the clients was wearing me out. It was wearing me out. And then, my full-time position, even though I didn't have to clock in or clock out, I had a lot of time autonomy because a lot of this was relationship and project based. So, sometimes you work more hours, sometimes you work less hours. Some days you didn't go in because you spent 2 days at the school doing all of these projects and coaching and whatnot, planning. It was crazy. I don't even know how I gave so much to that position because I loved it. And I would say I meditated on that prayer. And I don't know if it was the next morning or it was a couple hours later, but I remember it came down to me. It was like affirmation music. And I was like, wait a minute. This is a great idea. This idea could get me more clients. And this can help my clients practice what I teach them to practice. So I ended up getting my laptop and I Googled affirmation music. That it was almost like it glitched the computer because there was no terminology on the internet that I found that resembled affirmation music together. So I was like, wait a minute, I'm doing this. Now, am I the first one to put words over music? Absolutely not. We got Nikki Giovanni who's done it. We have so many poets that have done this, spoken word artists that have done this, but affirmations, affirming sentences, inner conversations, that was something new. And so I found a couple of artists back in 2018 that was resembling something like affirmation music or doing something similar, but it didn't have that it thing. It didn't have that when you hear music like Motown, you hear classics from the 90s, you hear music, not like, it's certain songs that are just, that got that it factor. And I wasn't hearing music with affirmations on music that had the it factor where you want to bop it in your car, your kids is singing it, like, you know what I mean? So I was like, I want to create affirmation music that you can heal, be well, and on the go, and have a mental health tool that's like literally can integrate into your everyday life. And so but it gotta be a bop. Shit gotta bang. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, so I'm gonna do it my way. And so fast forward to the end of summer 2019, I ended up going to California and staying with a friend of mine at that time, Long Beach to be exact. And I wrote affirmations for the grown-ass woman in Long Beach, California. I wrote 9 songs that represented the 9 months it takes for a woman to grow a human being. Because I wanted women to, as soon as they push play, ain't no turning back, baby. You got to grow, because now you done heard the word. You done heard it. Now your awareness been bust wide open to what you're capable of. Your sovereign choice to speak into existence, your growth. And so it was like, it felt like, and so it's like, I felt like I was seducing, through that album, I was seducing women back to themselves. Like I want people to be under a spell towards themselves. You know what I'm saying? And so I ended up writing affirmations for the grown-ass woman in Long Beach, California. I ended up coming back to Detroit, Michigan, and I had lunch with, was it lunch? It was like, I went over a girl's house. Where is she from? It's not Arabic. Iran? She might be from Iran. Yeah, I forgot her nationality, which is completely irrelevant. I don't know why my brain did that. But I know she was an American, and I went over her mom's house, and me, her mom, and her, like, cause we were all cool. We were all part of the women's entrepreneurship empowerment space, and so we end up having tea and some what else did we just have some foods, some ethnic foods. It was really cute, right? And so she's telling me about this organization that funded her mascara line. It wasn't mascara, it was an eyeliner line, I believe. Eyebrow and eyeliner, I believe. Wing Me was the name of her company. I don't know if she still exists or not. And I forgot her name. I haven't seen her in years. But she told me about this organization called Kiva.org. KIVA.org. Okay? So those of you who are artists, those of you who have missions, those of you who have intentions to be funded, you know what I mean, for what you want to do in life, and not have money be a reason to why you can't do, Kiva.org. There was another organization that helped me get that funding, which was Build, BUILD. They're in Michigan. Build, I want to say it's Build Detroit, but I know it's called Build, but it might be Build Detroit. But Kiva.org funded me $10,000 to do affirmation music. And I framed it as a mental health tool because I had all the science, boo. I had all the science that music, it has a medicinal legacy that is used as a therapeutic tool. Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? DJ Good Boy, what's good? Yeah, so one of my Detroit brothers. And so, yeah, I ended up applying for that loan, got that loan, and got to work. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. When I tell you, I don't know what the hell I was doing, but that was not what was driving me. What was driving me was the excitement of getting my idea out. I was so excited because I saw the video, I saw my hair, I saw the makeup, I saw these 9 songs that came alive. It was the first time I ever created anything without doubt, which made me that much more like obsessed because it felt so good to be a part of the creative process of getting my idea out, and something just felt like you got to do it. You got to do it. You got to do it. It was beyond commitment. I felt like my completion of this, getting this out of me was like sourced. When I reflect back on it, I just felt like I was like doing it. Something inside me was like, okay, call this person, see where you can get studio time, see if somebody who can work with your budget to do the video, da 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 da. And do the pictures and this, and I was just going through. Then I looked up what does it take to release an album. And I was like, I can do this, I can do this, I can't do that. And then I end up connecting with a old one of my brother's friends from church, and he's a producer, and so he produced majority of the music, and then he ghosted me. It was so crazy. It was such a roller coaster ride. And then people that I shared the music with, they're like, Tony, you about to become famous. And I'm like, no. And I really just did not think that everything that I've ever done, if I had any type of success, like my events, I had to work extra hard to get women to buy into the message, to say, oh, let me go to this. And once they're there, they're like, oh my God, can you do another one? So I never thought I would get the response. I just enjoyed doing it so much that I never thought about the outcome. But when people was listening to the music, they were like, Tony, no, you about to be like some damn conscious rapper. They didn't know how to organize my genre. But they was like, this is about to hit. And I just wasn't thinking about it. I guess I didn't believe in myself that way. I believed in myself to do it, but I didn't believe in people resonating it with the way that they did. I knew it would land for some people, but I never imagined becoming a whole full-time artist. Never imagined like doing music like this is my thing. I'm like, no, this is something I'm just doing. And for my coaching business to be successful, this is like, that's how I felt. I wanted to be a life coach for women and youth. And so I released Affirmations for the Grown-Ass Woman, finally, in March 19th of 2019, during Women's History Month, right before Aries season, right before the spring equinox, the new year. And I didn't know all of those things were aligning in that way, but I'm telling y'all, after 2 weeks of releasing that album, all hell broke loose in my life. I don't look at it that way anymore, but back at that time, I could not believe the level of betrayal that was happening from April 2019 all the way to December 2019. It was back to back. Heartbreak, betrayal, fear. My house got broken into in the middle of the night. The guy I was dating went back to his girlfriend, his ex-girlfriend, without telling me that I was, we were dating, and he was like, I'm in love with you. Just a whole bunch of stuff. And then I had 2 weeks after I released the album, the principal of the school that I was working out in Detroit, as a dream director, lied to me, lied to the organization. I'm not gonna go into the details about that. I think I've done it on another YouTube live or on my Instagram live, but I'm not gonna go into all of that right now. But I was lied on, so I lost my job. So I was on leave from April 2019 all the way to August 2019, and that's when they officially let me go. This principal had spread lies on me so bad that I couldn't even get hired from other schools in Detroit. Let me just describe my emotional and mental state in the summer of 2019. I was so distraught and depressed. And because I never had someone lie on me like that, especially for someone you had a bond with. This lady had daughters my age, And so I was just like trying to math the math, like, what did I do wrong? I don't understand. I was trying to make it like my fault, but I couldn't do the math, and come to find out this woman was just doing this out of spite. Now I would give her flowers, because she changed my life for real. And we always talk about how God uses people for the good, but how God uses people for your greatness and for, by them doing good things, but we never talk about how God will use people to do quote unquote bad things, but for your good. Like, God can use people to shift your whole life to be that much more in alignment with your abundance, with your passion, what you love, and why you're here. So don't shade the shady. Because I'm telling you, now 2025, I would send that woman flowers. I would say thank you, and I would send her money. No lie. Her shadiness changed my whole entire life. Because I was planning on being a dream director for the rest of my life, even though the organization went down later that year or a year later. Still, I was committed to doing this type of work, not being no damn artist. Like, I never had that inside. Like, I never thought that was something I could do. And so summer 2019 was hard. I ended up and I've shared this story before. So by the time August came of 2019, I ended up being in the psych ward from trying to take my life. I ended up I had an event, a woman's womb wellness event on a Saturday. And then on a Sunday, I ended up coming back home and, getting in the garage. I wrote a letter, and I was just really excited because I know this sounds sick and morbid, but it's the juicy details. I mean, it's the plot. You know what I mean? So, not to be insensitive to people who are dealing with this, but this was just, I look back at it like it was a whole movie. Like, I had to go through that. And so I was really excited about this being my last moments, because I knew I could guarantee nobody else would have access to me. I was like, I can't protect myself from people. Like, and I was just like, and I may be too green for this world. Like, I was already disenchanted with society. Everything that a lot of us think is normal, I was plagued by it. I was very annoyed by it. Like, I just had so many ideas and thoughts and feelings about what we normalize in our society, like the K through 12 education, the food system. Like, I was that girl, like, where my mind will go into universes of like, yo, this is not how it's supposed to be. And maybe I just don't match this reality. So I was like, my freedom is in my death. And so I ended up being found in my garage 3 hours later. The doctors were shocked that my blood wasn't poisoned and that I survived that. And I ended up being admitted into the psych ward. And during that time, I was learning about things that my friend group was saying about me. It was crazy. I could not believe it. I had one friend come visit me, And she told me she couldn't trust me anymore, and she needed evidence that she could trust me. I understood at the time what she meant, but when I look back at it, I'm like, girl, I'm in a psych ward with real insane people fighting for my life every day, and you talking about I need to prove to you? Like, so I started to really, my brain started to unravel, like, who have I chosen as friends? Some of these people could have been great associates, really cool alliances, but friends, like inner circle sister friends, they did not have the care package for when I'm vulnerable, because I was always the spiritual one. I was always the one that was there, caring, supporting, doing, giving my last. And when I got vulnerable, no one knew what to do. And you know, while I was in that psych ward, I knew that I wasn't going to recover, because I felt my brain, and I think I've explained this before when I shared my story. I felt my brain split, meaning that when I will focus on my external world and who I was, because my album, Affirmations for the Grown-Ass Woman, was skyrocketing. People, it was going viral. People were sharing it. The streams, I didn't even check the streams till like a year later. Like, I didn't even know what was happening. You know, I didn't even know you can get paid like that. You know what I'm saying? As an independent artist, I had really, I had really did it for my business. I didn't do it for all of that. And so I'm in a psych ward, and my mind will go to like, oh my God, I'm a wellness person. Like, I got clients. Like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? Like, who's going to check my emails? I got a business, you know, just all. But I couldn't focus on that because I'm like, Tony, you tried to take your life. Something is not okay in your mind. Who you were, how you were serving is over. I could not handle my identity with who I've always been being over. So I couldn't think about that. Then if I couldn't think about that, I remember thinking of being present in my surroundings, you know, because I was like, I know it's powerful to be present, but the violence, the chaos, the insanity, and it was really crazy, y'all. It was really crazy. I couldn't focus on what was going on in the present moment at the time. So I ended up just not focusing on anything, and I created this space. I remember my brain just split, and I just created a space. And then I developed the habit shaking my legs to cope. Once I got out the psych ward, it was wild. Once I got out the psych ward, I ended up staying with my parents. And I ended up sleeping in their bed for 3 months. After 3 months, they made me a pallet because they were like, girl, you got to get your ass up out of our bed. But I was so terrified. And the room that I could have slept in at my parents' house was all white walls. And I was terrified of white walls because of what was happening in that psych ward. And I was horrified by how much responsibility I had after I got that psych ward, to watch so many people that I've been there for, people that I love, family, friends, did not have space for how fragile and how messed up I was, because I really did not want to be here. I didn't like life like that. So 2020 came. I ended up getting rid of the house that I stayed in because it was a friend at the time. It was her house. So I got rid of 80% of my belongings. And then 2020 came. And at the end of December, I said to myself, no matter what happens in 2020, no matter what, I am going to make my happiness my priority. I'm going to figure out, how do I like life and how do I like my life. And I remember I started doing simple things. I remember going to Starbucks. I remember going get a magazine, a fashion magazine, because I was grabbing things that I remembered that I loved. So I grabbed a fashion magazine, and I remember going to Starbucks, and I remember having an apple, because back then I used to love the apple cider. Was the apple caramel cider hot drink, and I would get that, and then I would get the banana nut bread, and sometimes the egg souffles, and I did that consistently, maybe like once every other week or once a week. I don't know the frequency, but it was consistent. I remember getting into cold showers, taking cold showers, and I tried therapy. Therapy was just not working for me at all. And I just remember curiosity leading the way. And I took these tiny moments. I was just collecting these tiny moments of, does this feel good? Do I like this? Is this enjoyable? Or I remember I used to do this. Let me do this. Does this feel good to do? You know, and and it was like I was searching for the fun, the enjoyment. And then, and I did have an ally that communicated with me every week, you know, and I'm very grateful for her role at that time. But I remember being just feeling like something's wrong with my brain. I was like, something is not okay. How can I be this powerful, this wise, this beautiful, this resourceful, this impactful, this confident, and not want to live? Something is not mathing. And so 2020, the pandemic was happening, Black Lives Matter was happening, but that reality, not to be insensitive to people who are really impacted and experience a lot of tragedy and loss during that time, not to be insensitive to that, but I did not have space to entertain those realities. The only reality I could entertain and my nervous system had capacity for was Tony Jones. And that is when I formulated, well, that's when I started to entertain the idea that Tony Jones was my only purpose. Tony Jones was the only person, the only client that I had to serve. Let me take a breath, okay? These are tears of gratitude. Tears of gratitude for the million times I chose myself, the tiny choices, you know? When I didn't think it was working, it was accumulating over time to where I got better at choosing myself. And so while so many people in the world were focusing on so much, I was trying to figure out how to brush my teeth in the morning and eat a banana and like waking up in the morning. Because, man, waking up in the morning was like, damn, I'm still here. God damn. I remember praying, just say, God, just take me, take me. I do. And I remember just saying these words because I knew how powerful my words were. I would just, let me not just wake up in the morning. I was like, please. Like, and I would wake up in the morning and I would just be like, yo, I'm still here. Okay, let's go into nature. And I went into nature. And I start going to nature. I start crying in nature. I start yelling and screaming in nature. And it was a lot of my modalities and things that were in my toolbox weren't working. So I really had to spend intimate time with feeling all my feelings without any modalities. I had to get wild and chaotic, just feeling the frustration and confusion of all these emotions and feelings. And, you know, and throughout that time, you know, I remember a friend of mine, I FaceTimed her today. I got to FaceTime her tomorrow. And we don't keep in touch, but she's one of the ones that you keep forever. Her name is Jacqueline. She's a hairstylist and a mom of 3. And she told me, Tony, you're going to look back at this as just a small moment. She looked me dead in my face. She said, look at the clock. She says, ticking. The time is going to change. And this time in your life is going to change. She said, you know, you lost your job, you don't have money, you got to get on unemployment, but I'll make sure I'll do your hair for free. She said, I'll pay you, what did she say? I'll pay you for watching my kids. And, you know, I watched her kids. I picked her kids up from school, and I was doing the laundry. I'll never forget the moment I was doing her laundry, and I just cried. I cried so hard, and I forgot the lady I was listening to, but she was talking about something about detachment. And I was so attached to the woman that I was that really wanted this man to choose me. I was attached to this identity of that was a pillar in the community of wellness and women's empowerment. And look what I've become. All that work for nothing. This was my thought process. And I'm like, look at me. People are sharing my album all around the world, and look at me. I can't even take care of myself. I'm folding little boys and girls' underwear and somebody else's laundry. I felt like a loser. I felt like a loser. And this whatever video I was watching, I had to melt into feeling how lost I felt. How lame and whack. I had to feel that, you know, and I cried. I was folding laundry and I was just crying. And that was a moment for me, because it was a moment, emotional moment, because I deepened my ability to feel my emotions, to feel my thoughts, and be aware of what was happening inside of me. Because this was going to help me exercise the muscle of my awareness when something is not feeling okay, you know? And so I ended up doing that for some time. And then my music started to pick up. And I said, you know what? I wonder if this is what I'm supposed to do. Because I was emailing my clients, and I got, you know, told them that I won't be back for a while. I don't know what I'm about to do. And I just kept one client, because she was paying good money too, but not too much. But so I kept her, that one client, and yeah. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm supposed to be doing affirmation music, because it was the first thing that was, it was like I created something that loved me back. And then when I saw passive income was coming from something that came so easy to me that I only did once. Because when I got in that studio that first time, I fell in love. Like, I was like, oh, how do I know how to do this? And when I look back at that first album, some of it is cheesy and corny to me now, because my ear hears better. But it needs to be mixed. It needs to be mastered, child. It needs to be rearranged. Like, it's some things that the power is still in that album, but I have an artist's ear now. It's matured and it's developed. And so I ended up thinking like, yo, am I supposed to be doing affirmation music? And I was like, I love doing this. People don't need me. I get to just do what I love and still impact people. And I get paid from it. Even if it is just my cell phone bill, my car note, I'm still getting money from this. So what if it's something to this? And I'm like, well, I ain't gonna do concerts. I don't want people booking me. I'll do listening parties, because I'm not an artist. But I was trying to craft and create how I can make this work and be comfortable in something new. So in this period, y'all, this is where the next album, I See Me Mantras came from. This is where, in this period, this is where the EP Affirmations and Chill came from. So Take Up Spaces, I See Me, Mystery of Me, Healing Is Not My Purpose, Energy Budget, Being Real's the New Fake, all those songs, Birthmark, Sanctuary, all those songs came from that. Who Am I Without Work, from the EP, it came from that period. When I got the song, Being Real is the New Fake, so let me give y'all some tea. Let me give y'all some tea. Being Real is the New Fake was about the girl clique I was a part of when I was in Detroit. Because I remember sleeping in my parents' bed. I was in their bedroom one night, and I was going on my Instagram and my Facebook, and I was looking at their pages, and I went to my page and I was looking. I was like, yo, we fake as hell. And I remember telling them this when I was at a, because I got booked to do on a panel for Foot Locker. Charity, she's an artist in Detroit. Look her up. She has orange hair. She's super dope. Neo soul R&B type artist. And she booked me to be on a panel for Foot Locker. And this was like 2 weeks after I got the psych ward, but I was fine as hell. Fine, okay? And this was the first time I was seeing these group of girls at that time. And so before I got admitted to the hospital, this was their first time really seeing me. Like, bitch, what? No. And so I just remember being in my parents' bedroom looking at our social media. I'm like, yo, we're fake. Oh, that's why I brought up the event with Foot Locker, because I told them to their face in my car after the event was over. Just two of them was in my car, and I was talking about the whole thing. And I was just like, yo, we are fake to each other. Like, we let this one friend, we let her manipulate us and manipulate other people in the community, and we don't say shit. We don't call her out on it. Something is wrong with us. And I don't like this. I don't want to be a part of this no more. And they was just looking like, dang. Like, I can tell it landed, because everybody was quiet. And so fast forward to me being in my parents' bedroom, I just remember being like, yo, being real is like a brand. Like, I'm so real, I'm so down to earth, I'm so about women's empowerment, da 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 da. And I saw it wasn't about seeing that in them, I saw it in myself that bonded with that it was like my mask bonded with their mask. And I was like, I can't have any more masks in my life. Like, or I have to get rid of these masks, because these masks led me to a psych ward. And because of all the lies and all the betrayal and just the nasty work that was going down in this friend group, I just like, yeah, I'm good on all y'all. Because I don't think y'all about to grow like the way I'm about to grow. And I don't think y'all with the shits the way I'm with the shits. Because I'm ready to kill myself off metaphorically. This version of me that I've been forever, that wants attention, wants validation. And I remember this image or this energy came into my mind when I was looking at the social media. It just felt like, this is going to sound really silly, but this is how my brain be working. I see images and I feel energy. It just felt like a whole bunch of Barbie dolls and Cabbage Patch Kids just saying, choose me, be with me, validate me, see what I'm doing, see what I'm selling. And that was the energy that I was getting from their social media pages. And I'm like, yo, this is the culture that I've been a part of. These are the people that I've made my friends. What about me? What's going on about me? What's the fakeness within myself that's bonded with this? Because this is nasty work. I don't like this. It was a craving for validation, external validation, a craving with holding up an image. And I was like, yeah, I'm Gucci on all of that. So being real is a new fake literally came from my experiences with this friend group I had at the time. It's literally they inspired it. The culture of who they were when no one was watching, the culture of how they treat, how, I won't even say them because it was really one girl in particular that, and then the other ones, yeah, we're just gonna leave it like that. It was just like, it was a lot of entanglement of energy. Okay. So, but it was it had some interesting human behavior dynamics with some validity, because how we were raised plays a huge part. So no matter how much I understood why people behave the way they behave, no matter how much I was self-reflecting on how they're reflecting me back to me, I still was like, I don't want to be a part of this no more. And I owe no one no conversation because y'all not real. I mean, y'all not true. And so that's where that song, Being Real is a New Fade, came from. Then I see thoughts came from that too. Just my experience with the friendships I had at that time. It was just like, I don't like this. I'm too raw and I'm too fly to be associated with this type of energy. And after I released those friend groups and people started to see me separate myself, there was some really dope, cool people that started to connect with me and say, yo, I didn't mess with you because you was messing with them or this woman, this. And I was just like, wow. They was like, we never thought you were like that, but we were like, but why is she around them? Gotta be something. And so it was just like, it really matters. It really does matter who you're around a lot. And at that time, I just didn't have the wisdom and skill set to navigate with good people who just weren't great friends for me. Not evil, well, maybe one was. Maybe one. I don't think none of them are friends with her anymore either. But God bless her. You know what I'm saying? She taught me a lot. I got a lot of inspiration and music from her. Like, so great. You know what's so wild is when you can feel sincere gratitude from the darkness in people. Like, that's a real flex, a real superpower is when you can see, not just see people's behavior, not just see people's shadiness, but see through it, to where you can go in and grab the treasures and the goals that actually edifies your character, edifies your self-awareness, edifies your maturity and your decisions and your boundaries when navigating people, because relationships, friendships require relational skills. And I needed those experiences to help me choose people differently. Did I get better? Did I perfect it? No, but I got better at it. Got a lot better at it. So that's a little tea, just a little tea. Not too much. Not too much. But it's, you know what's so crazy, y'all? That just came to my mind. Okay, I'm gonna throw a little bit more tea. This one particular chick, she posted on Facebook, and when I say I was hot, I was punching my bed, and my brother and mom came in the bedroom I was in. I was like, and I showed them what she posted on Facebook, and she basically used my story as some testimony, talking about how her and her husband found me in a garage, da 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 da, and that they called the ambulance. It was traumatizing for them and their child. Okay, I get it. But now you're using my story. That's not something I even put out there. I was still recovering. And to open up Facebook and Instagram and saw that, and then you lead to, but a year ago, this is what happened. My friend tried to take her life, blah blah blah. But now I'm earning 6 figures and da 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 da. And I'm like, not you using my story as your testimony. Not you actually, it was, and I did ghost her. I did, because I saw through her and I was like, yeah, wicketry. wicketry, and the dots were connecting of past conversations, things that things she's done to other people, things she has said to me in private. I was like, oh, the dots are connecting to wicketry. You're wicked, and you use people and you play on people. I'm Gucci, I'm out. So I didn't need no conversation with her, because she was very crafty, very crafty. And so, because she gets what she wants, you know what I mean? That's an energy. So I was like, yeah, I'm just done. So when I saw that, and she did it twice in the like next 2 years after I had, got out the psych ward, she around that time of the year, she would always post this testimony. And so I remember hearing God say, give me your pettiness, because I wanted to sneak this. I just remember that energy. I was like, yo, I can really come for you because I have a way with words, ho. I have a way with words. Yeah. And so I knew I could craft it in a way. Being human is so embarrassing, but spiritually embarrassing. But I just remember just wanting to cut back. And I remember my brother saying, I forgot what he said to me, but after that, I said, okay, God, I'm going to give you my pettiness. I'm going to give you my pettiness. And it hurt my ego so bad. But when I tell you, I'm so glad I didn't do that. I learned so much valuable lessons. Just like the energetic game that you got to play to catapult yourself. Because once I released that album, well, not me, let's not go to releasing the album. Once I started creating that album, I start alchemizing all my lessons, all my darkness, all my pain, all the betrayal, all the things I felt victim to. I put it in the music. I see me mantras during the year of 2020, which is perfect vision. I said I'm dumping it all in this album. Some of those songs came from real situations. A lot of those songs came from real situations. And I just took all of what I went through, alchemized it, and turned into affirmations. And I looked back at it, and just once it was done and produced, ready to be released, I listened to it in my car, and I was punching my car because I was just crying and screaming because I knew I put it all out there, and I knew I got it all out. The satisfaction of getting it all out through art, and I knew that my life would never be the same. That's when I got in Forbes. That's when I got on Essence magazine. That's when I got placed on Showtime The Shy, Take Up Spaces, skyrocketed. Millions of streams. Did not have a publicist, did not have a manager, did not have an assistant, did not have a team. It was because women were hearing this album and it was spreading it like it was a new drug, okay? They were like, yo, listen to this. Oh man, let me call my girl up. Let me call my homie up. We got to put her on. It just started happening. That is how a lot of my successes happen, is because the music has impacted someone, it touched them, and they want to. You know what I mean? All that did was further ground me in source, further ground me in trusting God, further ground me in trusting my spirit over my ego, over my flesh, over my past, over my impulsive responses and thoughts and emotions, my immaturity, my games I play to have control. It just further ground me in a higher perspective, a higher truth. I see me mantras changed my life, but affirmation for the grown-ass woman gave me a whole new life. A whole new life. And I realized that after I released Affirmations for the Grown-Ass Woman, I see me mantras, me versus me, affirmations of self-love, I noticed a pattern. Every time I released the album, I had to be initiated into that album. Like everything that I said, I became a student too. I was like, I need to start making more songs about happy and joy and money and travel, because every song I've ever put out, I became a student to those messages. So it's like I started to see the pattern. I'm like, oh, I'm downloading, I'm channeling medicine that I need. And then I share it with everyone else. That's when I knew that me being myself was enough as a career, as a brand, as a message, as a marketing plan, as a business operation. Being myself was enough. I believe in structure. I believe in intentions. But I will say that me being well became my business model. Because by me being well, mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, financial, physical, these pillars of wellness and well-being created a pathway, a habitat that was pure-hearted for me to be able to download these messages, these affirmations that I actually need for myself. And then as I practice it with myself, I can share it with other people, which purifies the potency of this music. Affirmations for the Grown-Ass Woman initiated me into growing into the galaxies. Because I'm telling you, everybody who knew me at that time saw the shift. Everybody who I perceived as an enemy, everybody that I perceived as a taker, everybody that I perceived as a betrayer or did me wrong, because I don't see them as that way anymore. They were characters in my movie. You know, they played their part. So I don't want to invalidate their role by categorizing them in any way. They were purposeful. And all I did was get wiser, smarter, you know, and it was just wild how much I sacrificed. The version of me that always had the answers for everybody, the versions of me that was attached to being the healer, to being the wise one. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, I ain't got it. I ain't got the answer, Sway. Like, I'm like, I don't know who I am. And I sure don't know I don't know how to like my life. So how I'm going to tell y'all something? I just got to tell y'all what I'm doing with myself and what's working and what's not working. That is what affirmation music has been to me. Affirmation music has protected me from spiritual elitism, from coming off as though I know everything. And I've had to unlearn a lot of language that has those undertones of spiritual elitism. I've had to unlearn the impulse, the craving for external validation, which is deep rooted in the social engineering of our society, of our upbringing, of our belief systems, our spiritual doctrines. Unlearning that external validation is such a journey. And so now, fast forward to 2025, my baby, it's up and it's stuck. Affirmation music has catapulted me into a sovereign state of being, of a devotional mastery to perceiving life through a higher lens, where I don't just see life, I see through life, to where I can have peace and bliss and fun and faith and trust in the midst of chaos. That's the pocket I'm in. Haven't perfected it, but I swear, it feels like, and hopefully this is not my ego talking, but I really feel like I have graduated from the 5th grade to like getting a PhD. Why am I saying this? Why am I saying all of this? Because every last one of you who's on this live right now, I want to tell you, encourage you, and advocate for you. You are a creative. You are an artist. You have art to share with the world. I don't care what you do. You are the creativity. You are the art. It will pay your bills. It will support your mental health. It won't compromise your well-being. There is an alignment here that starts from the inside out. Whatever you feel called to, whatever has to be destroyed and shifted and let go, do it. Choose it. Do not settle in mediocrity. Do not settle for false security. Do not settle for casual friends. When you choose yourself, when you choose to create your life from within, you start to attract that same energy. People that choose you the way you choose yourself. People that love you the way you love. It is phenomenal to me. And I don't know if it ever will not be phenomenal. That literally creating your life, building your life, setting up a foundation for yourself, maturing in your decisions, it starts within. This is why I'm sharing my story. Because I have found out, I fucked around and found out we are powerful beyond measure. My confidence, my assurance, my energy, my purity does not, it does not come from, oh, I've made it and this is my testimony and I'm positive and I'm sure and I'm confident and I got it together. It does not come from that. My confidence does not come from just my story of conquering and victory or whatever. It comes from me realizing that we are all a big deal. And if we are all a big deal, what does it look like for me to reflect back to us? Smallness, me shrinking myself. If we're all one on a quantum level, on a universal energetic level, and we are reflections and mirrors of each other, what does it look like for me to play small? To give you permission to play small? No. I'm going to trigger your greatness. I'm going to trigger the discomfort that your ego wants to keep us in to maintain what's familiar. Deep dive into the uncertainty and play with where your edge is. See where your edge is. See where your edge of faith is. See where your boundaries are. Like this is as far as I can go today. I'll go a little bit further tomorrow. And what am I speaking of? I'm talking about when it comes to speaking your affirmations, when it comes to choosing your thoughts, choosing your emotions that you entertain, choosing not to numb yourself through entertainment, food, sex, drugs, your kids, obligations, your job, community, advocacy, social media. Seeing where your edge is. Play with your edge and see how further you can go with choosing yourself, choosing your spirit. Saying no to this, saying no to that, saying yes to yourself. Don't try and work out every day. Do 20 jumping jacks today. Start small. There's a scripture in the Bible that says, it is the little foxes that spoil the vine. It's the little foxes that nourish the vine too. They accumulate. I've spent so many years trying to drink my water, trying to move my body, go out into nature, self-care, take care of my mind, therapy, spirituality, meditate, read, finances, taxes, just gardening, but my mind was like, it's a job. I gotta keep doing this, and it will wear me out to where I'm like, yeah, let me order me a pizza and some brownies, run that pasta. I'm still working on the emotional eating. Don't judge me, not too much. I'm working on it though, and I'm really proud of myself. Even though I started last week, well, maybe this week, but I'm working on it. And I'm very proud of how I'm working on it. Because I know I'm devoted. My point is just like it's the little foxes that spoil the vine, it's the little foxes that nourish the vine. We have to reframe the way we think about devoting ourselves to our mind, less like a job, less like labor, and reframe it to like, I have the opportunity to garden my life. I have the opportunity to activate this powerful technology that's in my body, that's in my cells, that's in my will, that's in my mind to support me. My immune system is supporting me. My lungs are constantly supporting me. My heartbeat is supporting me. I'm going to take action to support myself. I'm going to keep that same energy that my own body is showing up as. Faithful, loyal, constantly in service. My cells are constantly, my cells that are in my body are constantly degenerating and regenerating itself, going through a death-life process, rebirth process for my evolution, for my health, for me fighting off viruses and diseases. I'm going to keep that same energy. My body is showing up daily, no matter what I eat, no matter how I treat it, no matter how I give people access to it. My body is telling me a story to be faithful, to garden, be consistent, take care of it like it's the lover of your life. I was supposed to be done at 9:30. We'll go to 10:15. Affirmation music is to be used as the soundtrack to your relationship with you. It is the language of self-love. You talking to yourself raggedy about how you manage money or how you need money, or you put too much stress on money in your mind and in your work ethic, got an affirmation for that. Currency, yes coins. Money worships me. You're healing from choosing poor relationships. Keep meeting the same person over and over. F boys are tools of alignment. Pleasure meditation. Relationship lullaby. I got tons of music. I didn't realize till like probably last year how much music that I done put out in the past 6 years. I have affirmations for the grown-ass woman. I have the affirmation EPK, affirmations and chill. I have I See Me mantras. I have the mental health mixtape, Get Your Mind Right, on YouTube only. I have the Me versus Every Me album, affirmations of self-love. Then I have New Blue Sun affirmations, which is Andre 3000's Flute album that I put affirmations over. And then I have my single, Self-Care Summer, that I put out last year. 8 projects. And get this, I have a million more inside of me. Let me attract a bag to where I can cook. Okay? My dream is to be in the middle of nature in a home, and I found one too, y'all. I found a home, I think it's in Indiana, and it has ceiling to floor, glass windows where all you see is nature. It's a studio there, and I wanna spend a week there and create 100 songs, affirmation songs. I've been very patient, I've been very diligent, but I feel like I am pregnant with 9,000 babies. Could you imagine that feeling? I have so much to say, so much to share, so much to express. I am in complete service to us, the human family. I'm on assignment, and I'm going to complete that assignment. And I want to encourage and inspire and invite you all to yourself. Don't follow me. Some days you're going to have to turn me off. Some days you have to turn my music off just to listen to the noise in your mind and see what's going on in there. Just to hear the deeper, loving voice in your soul that's calling you forth. It was by me listening that I was able to talk to myself better. When we choose ourselves, our self-esteem goes up. We won't do it perfectly, but we get better at it. We are literally the first generation that we know of, but first generation of modern day times that are healing what our parents, our grandparents, our ancestors could not, would not, or didn't have access to do. So we need to be patient. We need to be compassionate. We need to be maternal. We need to, I said this on my live on Instagram about a week or so ago. We need to bring a lot of grandma energy to the personal development space. Because we giving very soldier, sergeant, very, you gotta do. You better do it. You know what I'm saying? We bully ourselves into our greatness, and that energy does not respond well. It's one thing I've learned. Let me tell y'all something. An energetic play. Okay. Moo time. Period. Speaking of moo time. Okay, I ain't gonna bring that up because that's off topic. But y'all just please stay connected, because I'm doing some experience this year. When you said moo time, it made me think about what I'm doing this year with moo. It's a whole experience, okay? It's gonna be in DC on June 21st, but we haven't posted yet. We'll post in April. But anywho, and also I'm gonna be in Chicago May 3rd, so mark your calendars. But you can check all the links in my bio, in my description. You can go to IamToniJones.com. You can go to my Instagram, I am Tony Jones, click the link. All the information is there, okay? There's no reason why you should not be in the know. You know where to find me, okay? If y'all want to connect. And then also my membership group, Affirmation, tap in. We do field trips, period. Let's have some fun. Because again, we doing so many of us have taken this journey way too serious, and I understand because it can get serious. But the energetic code that I have been learning and downloading and practicing and mastering and courting and playing with is childlike energy. I'll give you a really cute metaphor. Imagine you sat with just seeing an image in your mind, and you see an elephant. Imagine an elephant with a purple scarf, with a polka dot hat on its head. You have no attachment to that, but it's funny. An elephant with a purple scarf with a polka dot hat. Follow me here, okay? Follow me. It's a fly ass elephant, right? Fly ass. You see it in your mind. Then the universe, you turn on the TV and you see an elephant with a purple scarf with a polka dot hat on. You like, wait a minute. Your brain throws it out. Then you go to Target. You see a stuffed animal with a polka dot hat on, and it's an elephant with a purple scarf on. When you literally imagine things in a pure state of non-attachment, and you just like, huh, that's funny. That would be cool to see. The way the universe plays with you, it's like the world becomes alive. Then you notice everything about your reality. Okay, let me take a breath because I get super emotional about this because it is so electrifying to understand it, realize it, and experience and interact with that type of power. I've read books about it. I've reshared information about it. Vibration, energy, frequency, healing, da 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 da. You're powerful, you're sovereign. But when you start to really play this game of energetics, this quantum space, it is euphoric because you realize this is a game. It's a game. And the way that I understood it as a game back in 2019, 2022, 2023, 2024 is not how I'm understanding it now. I'm in this bitch, okay? Playing the game. I'm going to share this with y'all before I leave, okay? I'm going to share y'all exactly how I do it because I've noticed myself, I noticed so many people get passionate about this and they talk about it and it's inspiring, but it's just like, okay, what does it look like to play it? What do I have to do to activate that energy? I'm going to share with what I actually do to play with the universe and play with these laws that govern this world. Okay? But when that starts to happen, your brain, it does something to your brain. It does something to your body. It's like what all that you knew in your brain awareness, it opens your brain up and it drops into your body. So now you feel that you trust this information. You know it. You no longer believe in this information. You don't believe in these practices. You know it. It's a part of you. This is what you do. This is your identity now. That I operate on a quantum level. No matter what is happening in the world, I operate from a quantum level without compromising my human experience. What do I mean by that? That I get to choose I get to make a sovereign choice to operate on a quantum level in all circumstances. But depending on how the circumstance feels, I'm also allowed to make a sovereign choice to feel the emotion, feel the feelings of those human experiences without worshiping them, without idolizing the emotion, the feeling, or the circumstance. And I get to allow myself to feel the emotion because that is why I'm here in this body. This is what I know. This is the body I've been with forever. This is the only body I know. So I'm going to give myself permission to feel my human experience because all it's going to do is allow me to feel other things like joy, like peace. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. So before I wrap up, I'm going to share with you what I actually do to play this game. Because we are, first of all, we have to accept, well, I won't say we have to. I want to share that I know and believe that we are all divine creators in the game of life. We're all divine creators. We are all individual manifested physical animations of God experiencing itself through individuality, through gender, through race, through all of these things, but we're all holding up masks. Being human, I'm gonna try not to go on a deep end because I get really excited about this. And nothing I'm saying is like whimsical or just esoteric. This is quantum physics. This is science. It's so much data backed up about what we are and who we are and why we are. Okay, bring it back, Tony. The practice. I'm about to show y'all in real time what I do. Okay? It's normal. This is normal humaning. We've been just stupefied and dumbified through the K through 12 education system, through entertainment, through okay, I'm almost done. Let me stop. Okay, the practice. I'm about to go. Did y'all see me? I'm about to go. Okay. I'll answer your question about, well, you said 333. I don't know what you mean, but okay, the practice. Practice time. I said all that to say, and we're going to wrap it all up. What does it mean to practice playing the game as a divine creator? What does it mean to be in practice of being a creative artist from the inside out? I'm going to show y'all. I take deep breaths. As soon as I wake up in the morning. As soon as I become conscious, I'm aware I'm in my body. Some days the mind is racing, trying to rush me to do all of these things. Sometimes the mind is going down the list of my to-do list, what needs to get done today, how I need to do this, do that for my self-care, for my spirit. Sometimes it's like that and sometimes it's not. But on both days, I take these deep breaths. In through the nose, out of the mouth. I'm not rushing it. I'm getting present. I'm feeling how my brain wants to do this, how my body wants to move and scratch here and do. I can feel the chaos trying to distract me from the present moment. And I sit with that. Sometimes I listen to Dr. Joe Dispenza's meditations, which are very powerful. Okay? And I practice them daily. And I get to watch and witness where I'm at in my discomfort and my resistance to the stillness and the quiet. I'm becoming aware of my noise, the program that tells me that I got to be doing something. And I don't judge it, I just sit with it. And as I calm myself, as I've gotten myself to a stable state, because in that part of the practice, I'm getting present with my energy and I'm gathering it through my awareness. I'm bringing it all into the room of my present awareness, into the now. Okay? And I think about what's happening inside me that I want to change. Why do I want to resist taking care of myself? Why do I want to rush my life? What's happening there? Do I want to change this? Yes, I want to change this. I want to change how triggered I am by what's in my bank account, what's not in my bank account. I want to change how my nervous system reacts to politics. I want to change how much I lean into controlling everything. I want to change that. I want to change how my brain is so pessimistic, doesn't trust people. I want to change why I try to negotiate myself out of being spiritual and, taking myself out to be with myself. What is that? I bring awareness to that energy, and I feel it now. Frustration may come up, unworthiness may come up, fear may come up, an extraordinary amount of resistance may come up. Your brain might want you to focus on something else. It may go to Japan. And you like, wait a minute, why did I get all the way to Japan? Come back to this meditation. It's crazy how the brain will try and do its thing. Like, no, let's travel here. Let's travel. You just get aware and present with the energy. Okay? Once you're aware of the energy that you want to change, you're not talking about the behavior. You're not talking about how I want to get better. You are energetically, it's like you're going into a virtuality of the emotional core, the energetic core of this behavior and these thought patterns. And you're getting present with it. You're sitting with it. Despite the discomfort. Okay? So you sit with that for a moment, as much as you can take. Don't try and pressure yourself. But don't try and stay in it too long. Be honest about how much capacity you have to hold for energy within you that you probably never have, or you probably have a hard time holding space for. Don't think about how you got to do this every day. Don't let your brain pressure you to do this practice every day, okay? You just, whatever moment you can grab to get present and aware with the energy that you want to change, the energy that is behind emotional eating, the energy that's behind making immature decisions, the energy that's behind avoiding your dreams, the energy that's behind staying in a marriage that is not healthy and is toxic, the energy behind using your kids as an excuse to not go after what you want as far as taking care of your body, mind, and soul. That energy right there, you hold space for without judgment, but with compassion and with grace. You hold space for that. And then you sit with it to where you bring it. It's there. Now it's there. You're in it. You're in it. And when you're in that, you want to use your imagination. You're tapping into a higher being, like a parent, like a grandma. You're tapping into that energy. Okay? And this parent, this grandma, this maternal, this higher self, this God consciousness, this creator energy, source of all life energy, they meet. They're holding hands. They embrace. And now you're communicating on an energetic level. This is what I want to change. I surrender this. I want to let this go a little bit more. I may not let go of all of it today, but I'm willing to let it go that much more. You talk to that higher consciousness. I want to release these thought patterns. I'm always obsessive about this. I'm always afraid about this. I want to get rid of that. I don't like that. Are there any lessons and wisdoms I need to learn from that? Because if I don't, I'm ready to get rid of that. Source, I trust you to work within me, to release and let go of all old, stale, low vibrational patterns in my mind, my body, and my soul, and my taste buds. Because I be overeating. And you're communing with this higher consciousness of the energy you want to change. Once you have that communion, that communication of I want to let this go, I want to change this. I would love to see who I am without this type of pattern, this type of habit. Once you do that, now you go into your imagination. You start to create images in your mind of who you are without these patterns. What do you do? What are you wearing? How much money are you making? Who are the people in your life? Are you laughing? How does your body look? What are you eating? Where are you at? How does your bed feel? What activities are you part of? Can you gather these images in your mind and start to create the imagination that builds this energetic realm of reality of what you see for yourself without the things that you're working on? You gather this image and no matter if your brain goes off into your task and your to-do list, or you get distracted by something, a sound, you just bring yourself back to the present moment. Imagination. I'm imagining images. I see myself in the woods. I see myself creating music. I see myself working with people who are aligned with me, men and women who want to create and serve through affirmation music. I feel easy. I see a chef making us food and smoothies. I see us getting massages. I just see it feels pure. It feels intentional. You see what I mean? I'm wearing baby yellow. It's a t-shirt, a baby yellow t-shirt and a baby yellow sweatpants. I got my baby yellow beanie on and I just feel light. I feel like I'm in my pocket. Everyone is getting paid for what they do, so no one feels like they're in survival mode. Everybody's bills are paid. You know, I'm imagining. I'm creating the images. I'm laughing. We're joking. We got the herb on the table. We smoking the herb. We drinking our mocktails. We taking our vitamins. No ill intent. God is in this space. We all respect each other. No drama, no ego, just creative energy. I see myself in my home. Slow living, slow mornings. I see peaceful days. If you're a single mom, you can imagine your village. You can imagine the people that are coming into your life to support you. You can imagine a job or position or a business that catapults your financial. You see what I'm saying? You just see the images. What are you wearing? Use this imagination. It is a divine technology. It's a reason why we were not schooled and educated about what this imagination is. How can I be on FaceTime? How can y'all see me right now? Imagine the color of your kitchen or the color of your bathroom. The way the mind and the brain can travel through imagination, it can go through the past, the present, and the future, all within 5 minutes. This is the practice of playing the energetic game. When you're doing this with yourself, when external situations in the world happen that attempt to trigger fear, trigger worry, trigger insecurity, trigger unworthiness, when external things in reality happen, you already been practicing your energetic game. You have the power to choose an imagination that you want to amplify, because the energetic game, it gives you what you focus on. It gives you what you're vibrating on repeat, what you're rehearsing. That is the practice. One of many. There are schools in this world that teach you how to do these things, teach you how to bend spoons, bend silverware, There are schools that are not secret schools that teach you how to master the power of being a human being with a spiritual nature. I don't even like calling it spirituality because it's like this is beingness, you know? Get in the game. This is a part of being an artist. We're all artists. We're all creative. We have been just taught to shut that part of us off. So no matter where you're at, no matter what roles you play, no matter what responsibilities and obligations that you have in life, you have the power to take a moment, get still with what you want to change, and connect with a higher way of perceiving your reality and activate it with new imagination, new data. And the more you practice that, the more you exercise your brain in that intentional way, the more you exercise your emotion and your body and your focus in that way, all you're doing is building a reality to where you start to project that reality onto the physical reality, and all it can do is materialize right before you. Just like how you put images on photos and images on film, and you project it onto a screen, and it's a whole reality. That is how our imagination works. This is maturity. This is growth. This is evolution. When you start to own this power, there's no way you activate this without talking to yourself better. Everything that I just shared with you is all a conversation. It's all about communicating on an energetic level. And when you use the sound of your voice, you're manifesting from the unseen world and putting words onto reality. So you'd make that much more powerful. See, I saw what I saw in my mind, but when I speak it comes alive. It feels like something. So it has to feel genuine, has to feel authentic, it has to feel true. So don't just say, I'm gonna have $3 million next week. I'm so perfect. You can get into it. But you know how you just meet somebody and they just compliment you, they love bomb you. You don't want to love your bomb. You don't want to love bomb your growth. You want to court yourself to where it's sustainable. Remember I said it's the little foxes that spoil the vine. It's the little foxes that nourish it. So don't fall tempted into your brain wanting to make this big carnival of manifestations. Just say, I want to change the way I eat. I want to change the way my relationship with my body. I want to change the way I think about money. I want to change the way how triggered I get by the news. I don't want to be so attached and addicted to social media. One step at a time, exactly. Be gentle with yourselves. We are in a new era of feeling a lot. But we have the power to hold space for it, to alchemize it, to where we can create the reality of our dreams, literally. I'm a living witness. I can testify. I'm living in dreams that I dreamed back in 2019, 2020, 21, 2022, 23, 2024. I've energetically have shifted my life. This couch, I manifested this couch. Okay? Like, it's things that I saw in my mind that I wanted because it felt good to desire it. Like, I want that. And when you get more of that, it's just like an infinite bank account. Again, I'm not a master at this. I'm a master student to this. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you all for listening. It's a very interesting thing to share so much without getting a conversation from it, from people saying things. Let me look at some of these comments. Just to sit here and be talking to my phone and knowing that people are on the side, it can be weird sometimes. Okay. I just said it's a game. Okay, let me look at some of these comments. Let her cook, period. Got me through the last 5 years. Oh, thank you, Divine Radiance. Real is where sit me with the people. Well, y'all was in these comments. No judgment here. I said a lot, y'all. Woo! We went places in this conversation. We are ready to feed so many ideas. You don't have to care about what anyone... Absolutely. Well, I appreciate you guys. Take care of yourselves. Talk nice to yourselves. Speed. Hey, I see some people I know in here. Well, thank you guys again for joining, holding space. Share this with someone. Like and subscribe. You know, all that YouTube 1, 2, 3 ABCs. Do all of that. Because I'm trying to put this whole planet under a love spell. I'm at a point where I believe I can put this whole planet under a love spell. A self-love spell. Where people fall in love with themselves. It's who I am. It's who I am. Yes, my website is IamTonijones.com. The links to all the things, all the offerings, how I show up in the world, my community affirmation membership, the link is in this description of this video. You can go to that now. But my website is IamTonijones.com. My Instagram, follow me on Instagram at I am Toni Jones. That's Tony with the I. Share this with a loved one. Share this with an ally. Share this with your woman, with your man. And talk about it. Have a conversation about this. I mean, I know it's about, 2 hours long. But get into it. Get into it. We deserve to be in a space where we feel excited about these times. We prayed for change. We wanted something different, and it showed up in ways that we don't like. But such is life. Such is life. Change is here. The shift is here. Politically, financially, emotionally, spiritually, everything energetically is change and changing. We can capitalize off this energy to create a new world for ourselves. The website is kiva.org. Okay. Yes, sis. Get to the bag. Kiva.org. I want to be a part of the golden age. It's happening and I'm here for it. Sweet dreams, y'all. All right, y'all. Good night. Happy Aries season, because I'm an Aries, April Aries. Not really in celebrating a birthday, but I'll celebrate life. Okay. I got some really dope things in the creation process right now. So y'all keep me lifted in prayer. Speak good and prosperity over me when you think about me. Happy New Year. Spring is tomorrow officially. And what else is happening? Women's History Month. Hello. Period. But anyways, I'm out, y'all. Love you. Mean it. Oh, one last thing. If you really want to get into the energetic game, you really kind of like want a cute little guide. Pam Grout. I don't know why I can't post comments on here. I got to look into that because the last couple of lives I've been on, I haven't been able to post comments. Thank you, Kira. I appreciate you so much. If you're on Instagram, please DM me so I can connect with you. You've been so, like, I appreciate all of you all. Pam Grout, again, you see how my brain gets sidetracked? Pam Grout has a book called E Square. E Square. 9 energetic experiments that prove your thoughts create your reality. If you just type in Pam Grout E Square, it'll come up. But the full book title is 9 energetic experiences experiments that prove your thoughts create your reality. Okay? I just want to leave y'all with that. If you want like a little guide, I read that book and it was really fun. That little elephant with the purple scarf, polka dot hat example I gave y'all, I learned that from that book because it's phenomenal. You see how the universe comes alive and plays with you. All right, y'all. Good night. I mean it. You were exactly what a lot of us needed. You helped us do the work within ourselves. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for you guys listening and supporting and sharing and practicing the music. You all saying yes to yourselves has changed my life. Do y'all understand that? Thank you. I love our relationship. Let's keep going together, okay? Go stream the music this week, share the music this week, and you all rest well. All right? Peace. I love you too, Keisha. Okay, that's what's up. All right, good night, y'all.